Why I was wrong about Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira.
And no! He did a great job of implementing this game plan. He was the one that heard Poatan. He was the one that controlled Poatan. So when you really go back and watch this, it'll probably be more clear as to who won this fight.
I'm very glad that I was able to bring this belt to my team, to my family, to all the people that were rooting for me. And you know what? The belt is now with me, and as long as I'm in the sport, this belt will not leave my shoulder.
Magomed vs. Alex just wrapped up with Magomed squeaking out a decision victory. And although I thought Alex would eventually be able to find an opening for a TKO or a KO, that opening just never presented itself, as Magomed was doing really good things out there. But quickly, before we get the video started, for those of you who may not know, I'm JuicyMMA, I make opinionative MMA content, and if you guys enjoy videos similar to this, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that post notification bell. But anyways, let's get into it. Originally going into this fight, I thought it could be a difficult one for Alex Pereira. Magomed Ankalaev is one of the better fighters that Pereira has fought in his career, possibly even the best, and he's really good in a lot of different areas. Of course, on the feet, he's very fast and very technical, and also, most importantly, very difficult to hit. Magomed does a great job out there on the feet, but outside of just his striking game, he also has a pretty decent ability to wrestle. Now, I will say his ability to wrestle is a little bit overblown, and maybe we saw that a little bit in this fight, but originally going into the fight, I thought it would be a difficult fight for Alex based on the threat of the takedown. But a question that some of you may be wondering at this point is what went wrong for Alex Pereira? Well, in my opinion, I think it comes down to a couple factors, but I think it's more of what Magomed did right as opposed to what Alex did wrong. Because Magomed did a lot of things out there that I didn't really expect. As I said before, I thought Magomed was a really good striker. I knew he was very defensively sound out there, but one thing that I didn't expect to happen, which did happen out there, is he was extremely defensively sound to the point where Alex was essentially not able to land anything on Magomed Ankalaev. Because when you watch Alex Pereira out there, essentially against everybody else, he's able to land that big left hook. Even in that fight against Israel Adesanya, where he eventually got knocked out, he was able to land, and he was able to land effectively. But when you watch his fight against Magomed Ankalaev, whether it's his speed, whether it's his eyes, or whether it's his distance, Alex Pereira was essentially not able to land anything. And it's not like he wasn't throwing left hooks out there. Alex was throwing a ton of left hooks out there. That's obviously his best shot. His leg kicks were landing, but outside of his leg kicks, his left hook wasn't landing, his body jab wasn't landing, his knees weren't landing. He wasn't able to have much success offensively, and I think that comes down to a couple different factors, but I think the main factor that it comes down to is Magomed's speed as well as his eyes. I think that was a huge factor in why Magomed was able to win this fight. But outside of Magomed's defensive strengths out there, I thought another factor for why he was able to win was his pressure. Because in a lot of his fights, as they were talking about on the live broadcast, Alex Pereira has his most success when he's on the front foot. When he's backing up, he still can knock you out. He can still land a big left hook. He can still land a big left knee. But for the most part, Alex does his best work moving forward. And in this fight, he was essentially on the back foot the entirety of the fight, which limited a lot of things that Alex was able to do out there, while also at the same time tiring him out. So the fact that Magomed was pushing back Alex Pereira the majority of the fight really opened up a lot of different things for him. Obviously, offensively, it allowed Magomed to throw a little bit more and have a little bit more success than he otherwise would have if he was on the back foot, as at the end of the first round, he was able to land and hurt Alex Pereira pretty significantly, but also it stops a lot of the shots that Alex is throwing back his way, making it easier to be defensively sound. And also the last factor for why the pressure was important is it allowed Magomed Ankalaev to go for takedowns, and even though he didn't get any, he at the end of the day was able to hold Alex against the fence and win a couple of rounds based upon that. So I definitely do think the reason why Magomed was able to win this fight and why I was wrong about my prediction was due to the pressure and was due to the overall defense that Magomed Ankalaev showed out there. But at the end of the day, regardless of what Magomed was able to do out there and regardless of what Alex was not able to do out there, it was still an extremely close fight. I do think there is a real argument for Alex Pereira winning this fight. I'm not mad mad at the decision. I don't think it's a robbery, but when I was watching it live, I initially thought that Alex Pereira won the 3rd round and he won the 1st round and as well as the 5th, and if that were to be true, he would have won the fight. As on all the judges' scorecards, I believe on all 3 judges' scorecards, Alex won the 1st and the 5th round. So it all comes down to that 3rd round, but it was a close fight. I have to rewatch it. Obviously watching it live isn't the best indication of what happened in that fight, but regardless, great win for Magomed Ankalaev. We have a new champion and we'll see what he does in the future. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, check one of these 2 videos popping up now, and until the next time, peace out guys.